Hello guys, and welcome to my channel and my video. When I discovered that Burns night was falling on a Wednesday, one of my usual upload days, I had to take the opportunity to do a video where I do the whole day eating Scottish foods. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. And as you can see, I've even got a tartan dress on just to help me get in the mood. I will say, if you are expecting me to have haggis, you will be sorely disappointed. I cannot stand it. It's just awful, or awful. Bad puns aside, even a vegan or vegetarian haggis, it's the taste I dislike and all the spices. So there will be no haggis, but there will be plenty of other things. So let's go back in time to this morning when the lighting was terrible and see what I had for breakfast. For breakfast, I am having two Scottish crumpets, one with Biscoff and one with the snowy blonde chocolate spread from Sainsbury's. If you don't know what a Scottish crumpet is, it's like a combination between a pancake and a crumpet. Now, I don't have these often at all. This may actually only be the third or fourth time I've had them in my life, but they are a Scottish food and this is a Scottish themed video. So I've grilled them because they won't fit in my toaster. They taste like you would probably expect a hybrid of a pancake and a crumpet. Ideally, I would have liked to have a kind of a stack of them with Biscoff and banana, but I have no bananas and it is so wet outside. As well as eating Scottish foods for the day, I'm also going to do a few Scottish activities. I will, however, not be playing the bagpipes. I did take lessons when I was 13. And you start by playing something called a chanter, which is like it kind of looks a bit like an oboe. And it sounds like a duck. And it's sort of the bit with the holes, but not the bag or the pipes on it. And you start with that before you move on to the bagpipes. But I did not have the lung capacity for it at 13. And I just kept getting dizzy, so I had to stop, which I think my parents were quite relieved about. It was funny though, because when I turned up for my lesson, everyone thought I was there for Highland dancing, and I'm like, nope, bagpipes, please. George was the guy that taught me, and this was down in Devon. I should have these more often. I'd forgotten how nice they are. Of course, you can have anything you want on them. I just went with spreads because I need to eat them up. I'm going to finish this on time lapse and I'll see you when it's time for a mid-morning snack. I've got my weapon. First, you need to find your haggis. Then you creep up, nice and slow. Yeah, you wee beastie. Take that. Die, you haggis, die. Hurrah! So it's time for a mid-morning snack and I'm going to be indulging in one of my very favourite Scottish treats, an Empire biscuit. Now, for those of you who have not encountered one of these before, it's two shortbread biscuits sandwiched together with jam. It doesn't say what flavour of jam, but it's either raspberry or strawberry, icing, and this is crucial, one of the jelly sweets, like the ones you find in dolly mixtures, on top. My favourite is the red, my second favourite is the purple. And whenever I buy a pack of biscuits, because they usually come in 4 or 2, I always try to find at least one red and or a purple in the pack. So I only got one red in the pack and decided it was going to be the one for the video. I am eating it with a plate though, because this could make a mess. Sometimes places put a cherry on top, or maybe there isn't a sweet, but this is how I remember them from my childhood, and that is why it's important to me to get this type of Empire biscuit. This is the McGee's brand, and I've tried a lot of versions of Empire biscuits, and these are my favourite. Sometimes they can be quite hard to bite into. These are soft, but not too soft. They're just the right sort of consistency. I also always eat around the jelly tot. It's not actually a jelly tot, but I don't know what else to call it. And then I eat that bit last. It's just the way I've always eaten them. Even though in my past I have been an avid baker, this was pre-COVID, I've never attempted to make Empire biscuits. I've done other types of biscuit, but when COVID came and we couldn't see people, I stopped baking and I haven't really gotten back into it. There are a few baking videos on my channel, and this year I'll try to get more baking and cooking and vlogs in, as well as just taste tests and reviews. I do have some strange eating habits. That last bite is by far the best bite in my opinion. Right, let's go and do a Scottish activity and then have some lunch.
Excuse me, I was wondering if you could tell... Remember Bannockburn? Yes, Sassenach!
Another very popular Scottish food, which I will not be having in this video, is lawn sausage, which you may know better as square sausage. I don't really like sausages, and so that's why I'm not having it in this video. Like with the haggis, there's no point me having things I know I'm not going to like. And also, you don't tend to get, like a haggis, to try and find a haggis that will feed one person is quite tricky. And it's the same with lawn sausages. So since I couldn't do that, I am going for something called Rumbledy Thumps. And yes, I'm cheating. I've got this from Sainsbury's, and it is diced swede and potato in mashed potato with sliced cabbage and topped with grated cheddar cheese. I didn't actually realise this was a Scottish thing. I just thought, you know, it was UK wide, but no, it is actually a Scottish dish. And I'm just going to eat the whole thing because it is my lunch, and I am going to microwave it, and I am just going to eat it out of the container because it saves on the washing up. And then to drink, trusty bottle of Iron Brew. It was either this or Buckfast, and I have had the Bucky and it is horrific. Oh yeah, no way could I drink that. Plus it's alcoholic. Even though it's made by monks from Cornwall. I don't really like Iron Brew. I haven't had Iron Brew since I was a child, and I tried it and I didn't like it, but I thought, you know what? I'm not having the lawn sausage. I'm not having the haggis. I'm damn well going to make myself have the Iron Brew. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? Right? After 6 minutes in the microwave, lunch is done. Now, A lot of you may think it doesn't sound very appealing, but I absolutely adore vegetables, and I have had rumbledy thumps before and I enjoy it, so I'm quite happy to have it for lunch. When I sit, I often have my feet up and I sit in some very strange positions, and I also tend to do quite a lot of crochet, and I was getting neck and back pain, so I got a memory foam pillow, so that is why this is here. I don't sleep on the sofa or anything like that. So I've just put it on the plate that I ate my Empire biscuit from this morning, and I'm just going to give it a try and hope that it's not too hot. It's so good. It's got the crunch of the vegetables and the creamy potato and the cheese on top. Really, really lovely. And here goes, guys. I'm going to try the iron brew. I did open it before I started filming because I was worried it might explode, but it didn't. But I haven't tried it. It's got a really unique smell that I cannot describe. Guys, I still do not like iron brew. I don't know what it is about the flavour. It doesn't have much taste until you've swallowed, and then the aftertaste is really odd. Kind of fruity maybe, I don't know. I'll drink it because I've got it. But yeah, I'm ashamed to say my Scottish credentials are seriously being hammered by my dislike of haggis, lawn sausage and iron brew and buckfast. But at least I like the food part. I could have made this from scratch, but I'm lazy. And at least I'm being honest about it. So I'm going to watch some Critical Role on YouTube. I've now finished watching Campaign 2, which I began with. And I've gone back to the start to watch Campaign 1. And they look, most of them, just so young compared to how they looked in Campaign 2. But I'm going to pop you guys on time lapse and move the iron brew bottle out of shot. And watch Critical Role while I munch on my rumbledy thumps. Well, I did really enjoy the rumbledy thumps. Admittedly, it's something you would normally have as a side dish, not as a whole meal, and that was one of the side dish ready-made things that's meant to serve 2 people, but as a lunch for 1, it's absolutely fine, and yeah, really good. So I'm going to have a lunchtime dessert. This is not exclusive to Scotland, but it is Scottish. It is a Tunnocks caramel wafer, and there is in fact a Tunnocks factory in Uddingston where some of my family live. I've never been to it, but I'm sure I've driven past it multiple times. So I didn't like caramel wafers that much as a child, but now that I'm older, I do like them. I mean, don't get me wrong, as a kid I would not have turned them down because this girl has always had a very sweet tooth, but I do like them more now. For those who don't know, it's layers of wafer biscuit with a chewy caramel that is sweet but not overpowering, and it doesn't stick your teeth together, and then coated in milk chocolate. I mean, there's not really much more I can say about this, but yeah, good snack. This is really the only Tunnocks product I like. I'm not a fan of their snowballs or their tea cakes, really. with tea cakes, it's that marshmallow filling, because a Tunnock's tea cake, if you don't know what it is, it's like biscuit, marshmallow coated in chocolate. It's not like a tea cake, which is kind of like a hot cross bun. I think it reminds me a lot of a wagon wheel. And I don't like those either. And it is the marshmallow texture and taste with the other two combinations. I like marshmallows, but for some reason, I just don't like those.
I'm now going to attempt to sing the Scottish National Anthem. And I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Guys, the Iron Brew is still here untouched since lunchtime. It's going to be hard to get through the whole bottle, but I don't want to waste it. So I'm going for another biscuit for my snack. This was not my original plan, but I couldn't get everything I'd wanted to originally, so I had to juggle some of the meals about a bit, and that's why I've ended up having 2 lots of biscuits as snacks. So another thing Scotland is really, really famous for is shortbread. And I have got from Aldi these Orkney caramel shortbread biscuits. Now, I've had these before. They are incredible. You get 5 in your pack, but I can't remember how much they are. So you've got your shortbread biscuit with your chocolate drizzled on the top and your caramel in the middle. A very different shortbread taste to the Empire biscuits. It's more of a pastry shortbread with the Empire biscuits, but this is proper shortbread. The caramel is soft and chewy and sweet, and the chocolate on the top, it's just amazing. I really, really rate these biscuits, and I've had them quite often. There are so many delicious shortbreads out there. It was really hard to choose, but it was the caramel that got me. Oh no. I am going to have another one of those biscuits, but I'm not going to eat it on camera because I literally have nothing more to say about it, except they are delicious, and it's probably just as well they only come in a pack of 5, because that pack will be demolished over a couple of days. They are just so good. Right, well, I'll see you guys when it's time for dinner, I guess. Well guys, it's time for dinner. Now, regular viewers will know I film on my iPad. Facial recognition is not working when I'm dressed like this. So for dinner, I have a Scotch pie, neeps and tatties. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, a Scotch pie is a hot water pastry crust pie, usually filled with minced beef or mutton. However, in a nod to veganuary, this is a vegan Scotch pie. Sometimes they have a hole in the middle. Neeps, it's your mashed turnip, which is just mashed turnip. And tatties are your mashed potatoes, to which I have added some cheese. Now, I'll be honest, this is probably only the second time I'll have had a Scotch pie in my life, because They're not something I tend to like, but if I'm not doing haggis, I had to do a Scotch pie. So this is how it looks on the inside. It certainly smells quite spiced, which is, I think, the reason I don't like them. Very peppery smell. It's all right. I don't love it, but I'm hungry, so I will try to eat it. It's a bit messy. I love veg, so this will be right up my street. I definitely think cheese just elevates mash to another level. I didn't film me cooking all this because the video is going to be long enough, and mashing potatoes and turnip, I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you this was vegan, but it could do with some sort of gravy, I think. However, I have no gravy. I think I'm going to put on the telly and stick you guys on time lapse while I munch my way through this. Well, I don't think I'll be having Scotch pies again anytime soon, but I suppose it was good to try one and reinforce that they're really not for me. I am feeling quite full now, but I do have dessert to come, so I will see you a bit later when I have room for some pudding. Dessert time, and I have got a Macintosh tablet sponge pudding and some Equis vanilla ice cream. Equis is a Scottish brand of ice cream and it is so delicious. If you ever come to Scotland and get a chance to try it, I thoroughly recommend it. I went for vanilla because they do a tablet flavour, but I felt that that would just be way too sweet. So the tablet sponge pudding is one that you can oven cook or microwave, no prizes for guessing which way I chose. And it's got a tablet flavoured sauce on it. The sponge is soft and slightly sticky, not dry, and the sauce is sweet but not sickly. And my ice cream, which has melted. It's such a creamy, decadent vanilla. I mean, Equis do loads of flavours, but in supermarkets, there's only a limited selection that you can buy. This is a fantastic way to finish off my full day of eating traditional Scottish foods. I certainly hope you have enjoyed it and that you will come back for the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.